Hi everybody, we're going live in just a minute and we're going to be making paper roses. Tonight we'll be making paper roses in just a minute. So make sure you have your supplies ready. You need some paper, scissors, paper, a pencil, a stick or a piece of wire, and some floral tape. And we'll just be going live in 1 minute. So make sure you have all your supplies ready, at hand, and ready to go. In just one moment, we'll be making these beautiful paper roses. All you need is some paper, pair of scissors, and it's 7 o'clock, so hi everybody, I'm Billie Moffat, the Gailbourn Public Library, and today we'll be making beautiful paper roses. If you didn't know, I was married at the library with my husband Robert, who also works there. So 14 and a half years ago, it'll be 15 years in October, we got married in the river room, and here is my beautiful bouquet of flowers that I made with pages from books and colorful paper as well. And it's a little yellow because it's been sitting on my bookshelf for 14 and a half years. But today we'll be making paper roses just like I made for my own bouquet. And you can decorate with these, give them as gifts, put them on top of boxes and wrapping paper. Paper flowers can go so far. So all you need is paper. I'm using book pages that I got from the Gailbourn Library book sale. But you need really thin paper, so not cardstock, thin paper. You'll need something heavy to make your templates with. You'll need a pair of scissors, floral tape, a piece of wire. This is floral green wrapped wire, but you can use anything. Use a pencil, use a stick you found outside. You'll also need some glue, and I have a paintbrush for putting on the glue. So let's get started. I'm just gonna tip the camera down so we can get started. So today we are going to make our own templates by drawing on a piece of paper. This right here is tag board. I buy it by 100 sheets at Dick Blick. It is super handy, and I always have some available because you never know when you're gonna wanna make something weird. Rose petals, pretty simple. What you need to do is make a heart. It's kind of hard for me to make a heart upside down, so I'll do it right side up. So I made a heart there, but you don't want the top to be pointy like this, so you'll kind of smooth it out, so the bump. And then at the bottom, you want a little flange to glue on, so that will be your template. And we'll cut that out. Just cutting it out. I'm just gonna smooth out the top of the heart there. Now mine's a little wonky. Put this aside. So I'll just smooth it out so it looks regular. Now to make the rest of the template, you'll need to make 3 sizes that one is bigger than the other, so 3 sizes. So to make one a little bigger than the other, all I do is just draw about 1/4 of an inch around and make just slightly a bigger one, and then use this one to make the biggest one. So I've made my 3 templates. Now I'm gonna take one on my page and trace it around. if you're using just regular colored paper, you can maximize how many you get on there, but if you're using pages of the book, you kind of want the print, so you're gonna use a few more pages than if you would if you're doing color sheets. So I traced my heart. I'm using a red pencil so it makes it easy for me to see against the black and white print. And I'm just cutting it around. And you'll need 4 little ones, 4 medium-sized ones, and 4 large petals. You'll also need, that I'm going to cut from the scrap here, 1 small square to make the pip in the center. So we're going to start by making the pip in the center. I'll just put these to the side. It's important to keep them in order so that we don't get confused about which ones we're going to use. To make the pip in the center, you're going to fold this in half so it's a triangle. And then you're going to fold it in. And then the next one you want in as well, on the other side, leaving a little square edge at the top. Square edge at the top. And then I will put my wire into the center. So it's in the middle there. But I don't shove it all the way up to the top because I don't want to rip the paper. And now we'll just fold this in again. So it looks like this. And now I'll take floral tape and I will just wind it around. If you've never used floral tape before, it is self-adhesive, so you just pull it, you tug it a little and stretch it, and it becomes adhesive onto itself. It's slightly tacky, and then it dries, and you just pull it away and smooth it out. And then you have the center of your rose. Next, I'm going to open up my glue. I'm just going to tilt my camera up just slightly. I have my glue, I have my pips, and I have my 4 pieces of small petals. The first thing that I'm going to do is on my table here, I'm just going to put my palm down and pull it to curl my little petal. That will give it a more natural look. And I'm just going to pull it around. Twisting it around as I go. Now it's important with paper that you're slightly delicate. If you rip it, that's fine. You're probably going to. I've ripped one of the petals on each of my flowers, but most of the times it's going to be the smaller flowers that will be on the inside. So you'll hide it and it won't matter at all. So I just fold this over and make it round like this. I'll take my next petal, make it round, paint the inside. Now you don't want to do it on the same part. You want to kind of offset it because roses are like a spiral. You want to make it look like a spiral. So I'm just minding the top so I don't tear the top. I'm just twisting around and I'll just bend down, fold down my petal gently. Now I'm going to repeat this with my other two. Putting glue on it. Be generous with glue. Even though my glue's in the pot, it's just white school glue. You can use Elmer's glue or tacky glue or any kind of glue you want. Just good old white school glue is the best glue to use in paper crafts. It adheres the best. It's tempting to use a glue stick, but that glue just doesn't hold. And I tore my page a little right there, but don't worry. We're gonna hide it in our next round of petals. Just gonna do this, offsetting it from the other ones. Fixing the petals so it looks natural. And holding down the glue. And now I'm going to go to my 4 middle-sized petals. For these petals, I'm going to curl the bottom, but I'm also going to fold it a little. Not all the way, kind of 3/4 of the way down to the stem. Generous with my glue. Don't be too stingy on it. And I'm just going to roll this next petal. Now I'm going to repeat this with the next 4, folding it, gluing it. If you've never used paintbrush with glue, make sure you have some water on hand to clean it out when the glue starts drying. And you can always clean your paintbrushes with some mild soap, like Joy dish soap, but I just use a bar of Ivory soap. Wash it in the sink. A little Ivory soap. Clean a brush out really well. As I'm wrapping these around, I'm minding the other petals to make sure that I'm not damaging it and I'm keeping everything even. Fold it about 3/4 of a way, gluing it down. Offsetting it from the last flower and wrapping it around. Don't worry if you're making a big old mess in the center here. We're gonna cover it later. When I first wanted to experiment with making paper flowers, I did that by taking flowers apart. I would go and I would buy the flowers that I wanted to make, daisies, roses, and I would take them apart to see how they were put together and how I could do it out of paper. So don't always think you need to have a fancy expert or a book to tell you what to do. Sometimes you can just take something apart to see how to put it back together again. Now I'm just working the center to make sure all the glue is holding together. And now I'm going to move to my last 4 largest petals. Now I've figured out with the last 4 petals, this part down here is too bulky. So I'm just going to trim some of that off. So I have less to glue at the bottom and it helps me rip the paper less. I curl, I fold, glue the piece, Don't worry about using too much glue. If you're going to use old paper and books, the paper just soaks the glue right in. Okay. Whoops. I tore that one a little. No problems. Popping the center out, rolling the corners in. Two more pieces. Now don't worry if your flower just looks a little off kilter, because flowers in the wild all look beautiful and different and individual. They are not perfect, nor should they be. Last petal. I curled it, I fold it, put a little glue on. I place it on. Moving the petals around and up so that they all look in the right place. Now I'm going to finish it off with a little floral tape to hide my mess right here. I'm going to start up high with the floral tape, and I'm going to pull a little to make it adhesive. Try not to tear my flowers. Pull a little more and go down. When you're using wire, try not to bend your wire too much. I'm going to do it one more time. And I'm just going to go over this section at the bottom here where the mass of the paper joins the wire for a third time to give it a little more stability. There you go, one paper rose. Let's move our camera up. Now look how easy it was to make some beautiful paper roses that you can use anywhere. Make a variation by using it with a colored sheet or by painting the book sheets, putting a little color on the edges and the tips of the flowers, and you can have a beautiful one-of-a-kind gift or a decoration for you to enjoy or to give away. So look for more information on crafts like making paper flowers on Hoopla. Hoopla has tons of books, including craft books, crochet, flower making, so many things. If you have any questions about how to use Hoopla, it's at our 24/7 e-library on gailborden.info. If you need help with Hoopla or any of our e-resources, don't hesitate to ask a librarian by text or by email. We're here to help. Thank you so much. Keep on making things and have a great day.